Welcome back to Chinok Valley, guys. We're here in episode 8 of our series. And today we're going to be doing a couple small things. I'm going to show you some stuff that I've done off camera, just kind of tinkering. And we're going to build kind of something that I'm really excited about. We're going to build our waterfront park here, our green belt, which is going to go here all the way up around this way. It's going to be kind of like that beltway that I was talking about in a couple episodes ago. And so what we'll probably do is we're just going to jump into time lapse once I finish this. But I want to show you guys around to a couple things that I've changed off camera. So let me get it out of night mode into daytime mode and go back into the cinematic. Now I've got it paused just for some frame rate issues because when I do high level detail like this, it jumps around quite a bit because I've got obviously some mods and that kind of stuff. So where we left last time before I went to New York was we did our detailing around our downtown core. I'm really happy with how all of it turned out. There's a couple open lots still. This area, and this area still need to be taken care of. But I've kind of left them blank because I feel like these two areas will kind of be played off of with whatever I do at the park. So I'm going to do them after. So you might see me hit those in the time lapse. I haven't recorded that yet. I also want to let you guys know this episode is probably going to be kind of short. It is currently Saturday, and I'm trying to get this done and uploaded by tomorrow, which means I'm literally going to try and do most of it all today and tonight. So we'll see how well that goes. Hopefully we can do it. The time lapse and detailing of this park should take a long time, and that'll probably take up a lot of what we're doing. So over here, I've got some services just sitting out because I needed them around. So a lot of the stuff you can just ignore over here. This will probably get moved as well. This is going to be residential. But right now it's holding some stuff, education, police, just stuff that I needed to have around so people would stop yelling at me. But I did build something really cool that I'm kind of happy about, but I'm not sure if I like the design of yet. I built a bus terminal. It's a pretty cool looking system. I even found a really cool use for the asymmetrical roads. Since I put it on this one way, I didn't want them to clog up the artery here. So when they come off the freeway, they can come down this side street, and they have a bus-only right turn lane on this one lane, which is really cool. I love these asymmetrical roads. I'm so happy that they came out. And then here we have just a general bus terminal. It's not what I'm thinking, but I think it makes sense for the area. I kind of got inspired, again, I was in New York recently, and I kind of got inspired by the Port Authority bus terminal, but it has a lot more infrastructure built around it. Obviously, it's got, commercial, and it's actually got a building that you wait to get your bus in, and it has, direct access ramps to the Holland Tunnel, and all that kind of stuff, which was really cool. But again, I don't think Chinok would have done something like that. I think Chinok would have gone with, this kind of cheaper system. It doesn't get as cold in Chinok as it would in New York City, so there's no real need for it to be outside. It's normally pretty warm. This is a southern city again, so it's kind of what I'm thinking, at least. Another thing that I've done is I've built up this area. I've yet to name the neighborhood yet, but I just mostly zoned this with the Brooklyn theme. So I'm really happy with it. And then I kind of broke it up with some Rico buildings, so see over here, we've got a couple lofts and some row houses over here, and then I did a little projects area over here, but it's kind of a nicer area. I'm thinking maybe it might not be a project area, it might be like a development. I know these buildings look kind of meh for a nicer development, but I'm thinking maybe maybe it is projects, but I spruced it up with some foliage and some pathways. I think they look pretty cool. I didn't want to go too crazy. I'm already getting some frame rate issues in the downtown, so I didn't want to go too heavy with all the detailing, but I'm thinking the foliage kind of really brings it out, makes it pop a little bit. I used the surface painter quite a bit to kind of give it some depth, and I added some rocks. Not too much, again. I didn't want to go too crazy with this area. I think it looks good without being too much. I think that came out nicely. Over here we have a nice sports complex. So we have a nice big tennis field. We have a high school. I want to say some more Rico buildings and a gas station. And then I did this back lot again. Surface painter and trees. Nothing too crazy. Again, like I said, the frame rate is getting kind of bad, especially in the downtown area. So I'm thinking, we just kind of, I think less can be more. You just have to do it right. So I might come back with some decals and kind of clean up the edges, but I think just using the foliage on the rocks and the paths and the surface painter it really does give it a nice view, especially in these areas you're not going to be looking at too much. I mean, when you're viewing it from this far up, and don't mind the LOD issues, adaptive prop visibility is broken for me right now, so I'll get it fixed. But when you're looking at it from this far up, you know, a lot of these areas that you won't look at too much, they really, really good with just the foliage. I mean, obviously there are areas where, you know, you really want that high level detail, like, you know, however here, like this park I think came out really, really nice. Inside the core, I think it looks really good. I mean, and that's not too much. It's mostly just like, you know, paths and Service Painter again with some props and some decals with some props. And I think I'll add props in to these areas, like maybe a couple tables and benches, but I probably won't go as crazy as, like, you know, I did over in the Cooper Lake with like the tents and the smoke and the fire and all that kind of stuff. Because again, this is a downtown; it's not going to get that crazy. I also have right here, we'll probably hit this in the time lapse, a little commercial area. So we have like a Barnes and Noble and a market. A couple restaurants here on this like waterfront road. I think this would totally be a place where there'd be a nice commercial area. We got a Walgreens, we got an AutoZone, we got some restaurants, and then I also have a Cracker Barrel here. And this whole lot is going to be parking for it, because if you've ever been to like a southern town, the Cracker Barrel parking lot is so big because it's always so busy. And I really like it. I wish I could have put it closer to the freeway, because they tend to always be next to a freeway. But in order to get it over there, it would have had to be kind of over here, and I have a different idea for this part of town, and so we'll hit that. But I think over here is good. It's kind of near the park. Like I think it makes sense where it's at. And yeah, I am just in love with this skyline. It looks so good. I'm really happy with the way it's all coming out. And I have to tell you, I really like the way. So like, if you watch Fresh Popcorn Samanada, which you really should, he is really good. He talks in his downtown episodes about how he wants his skyline to kind of be like the mountains that surround it, and have it look very similar to the natural view of the, you know, the topology of the region that he's in. I don't want that. And that's not that I disagree with him. I think that looks amazing and it works great for his aesthetic that he's going for. I wanted Chinok to kind of look like it was all once this height, and it had a boom that kind of came out of nowhere and built these buildings. That's why I wanted these buildings to be kind of spread, most of them to be shorter, with like one or two ones that are really tall. And so when you look at it, I wanted it to look out of place. That's the look I was going for. Like this red building, it looks so out of place. It's taking all of my like self-control not to remove it, because I feel like once I've got Chinok completely done, it will be that crown piece of the skyline. I think it would look better without it right now, but I think once everything's kind of in place, it's the vision that I'm trying to go for that really will make it, and I think that's really, really what we're going for here. So yeah, so we did this again. I did some Rico buildings in here. I haven't really detailed too much because of how close these blocks are. I might throw in some trees and some stuff back here, but all these are vanilla. They come with the buildings and the Brooklyn assets. So it goes really nice. I think I'll just do some decals, some benches, and like some pathways, just to kind of make it so it looks interesting from above, but doesn't again tax us too much. So I think that looks really nice. You'll also note here, if I go into the zoning view, you'll see how it's done. I've kind of broken it up quite a bit. Commercial sits kind of on this main avenue here, and they kind of take a middle beat on these bigger streets, and then the alleyways are all residential, and the residential kind of it's kind of mixed together. That should help with traffic. That way, if you live here, you go here for your commercial or your work kind of deal. That's at least what I'm hoping for. We'll see how it actually works. But yeah, let's go back into cinematic view. So I put a hospital right here because I'm excited. I really am excited. This is going to be kind of like our city medical center hospital area. I think it'll look really cool right here. I think it'll look really nice opposite like our police and in and out kind of area over here, and I think it'll look really neat. It also makes sense to be on this kind of main thoroughway, kind of near this intersection, and near the highway. It just gives it easy access to everything. And I think that'll look really, really cool. So that's kind of what we're going for. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this other thing real quick. So you'll remember that the train used to kind of cross here and go here and into a tunnel, and I didn't like it. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would they pay that money to to dig a tunnel here and go around the edge? Like, it doesn't make any sense. it looked cool, but I feel like money-wise, they totally would have rode on land. This is way cheaper. And they would have actually combined, so this line here is unfinished, but it's going to go this way out. And they would have combined. They would have been like, oh, this is way cheaper. We're just going to do a double-decker bridge, which I think came out really cool. So we have one bridge at the bottom here and one at the top. I originally had one going one way and one going the other way, but the way that it would have split and I had to do the one single track one ways to recombine them, I couldn't get it to look the way that I wanted, so I ended up just going with, this is just a two-way track and a two-way track just on top of each other, and they go their certain direction. So this one coming from Emerson kind of goes on the bottom deck there, comes around and goes into our train station, which I've also reworked the parking, so we're definitely going to hit that at some point. Probably not today, but we'll see how much time we get out of it. And then I also reworked this over here. This used to kind of curve and do a bunch of weird stuff. Now it just goes straight out. These two bridges. This one, it goes straight and then cuts left, and it goes over the river, and it's our passenger line serving what's going to be our kind of suburbs. All along this freeway is going to be suburbs. This is the freight line, so one of these freight lines is going to go with the suburbs. The other one that turns left is going to come back this way and service this area. And then the other passenger line kind of goes over the freeway, cuts back this way. It rejoins with, it's the only one that rejoins with the freight lines. This is a passenger only line though, so I won't allow freight to go across this. But it kind of cuts across and it comes over here and rejoins with this line and goes this way. So this is a joint freight and passenger line that will go out this way. They will probably split again, but for right now they're going to be joint. I really like that idea of having that one passenger line being have to cross over onto the this track that might be owned by Gramercy Southern or Cedar Valley Northern, who knows. In my mind, this is an American city, so the trains are government subsidized Amtrak in my mind. So maybe I wish there was a way to make this line have to yield for the freight trains, so you'll see a passenger train just sitting and waiting for the freight trains to pass by. I think that would be pretty cool. Probably wouldn't be too enjoyable for the passengers, but then again, Amtrak sucks anyway, so we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going right now. I also got rid of that center rail. It didn't look good. It was weird. I had to do an interesting tunnel to get into the middle there, and I felt like while it was cool, it was economically didn't make any sense. The city would never do that. They would have just gone this way and done that single tunnel over here instead of building a bridge over and then going a tunnel under, and then no. They would have done one tunnel under the intersection and then come back up here, and that would be be it, going to the airport. And then of course the passenger line that's going to serve the airport is also going to serve up this way and probably cut it'll probably rejoin with this line at some point and then serve the passenger area over here. At least that's my mind. I haven't really decided the rail network yet, but I know that I definitely have the lines that I want for everything kind of in the general vicinity. I think everything's looking pretty cool. The only thing I'm thinking is that currently I don't have a rail line coming from this way, but I think that's what this is going to be. And what'll probably happen is its passenger line will join back up with this one. So there's a passenger line that's going to go this way, another line that's going to come from this way, probably rejoin, and we'll hit one of those stations, because you'll see on this bridge, they all connect to the three. So coming from this way, you have this one stop station. You have two middle stations for pass through. So this could be the international or the intracity transit line, of course, because it's the one that terminus is here. Same for this, and these are intercity. So you're coming from Cooper, and actually there is no passenger line from Cooper. You're coming from Carroll Pass, and you stop here, and you keep going. Or if you come from whatever build this way, you stop here and you keep going, kind of deal. But each line can connect to each station, except this one. It can't get over here, but this would be both of these can get to all three. This one can get to all three. This one can't. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is right now. I'm thinking that even though it doesn't make any sense, I think the airport should terminus here, but that means it has to cross and go over this way. But we'll see. I might even rework it again in the future. Who knows? I can always move some of these lines around a bit and kind of get it different. These don't have to be in this exact order. You can mix them up. I just thought that it looked best this way. That way it kind of staggers with the platforms. I wish that each platform was the same length, but this is the best train station asset I could find to match the theme of Chinok. But I do wish the platforms kind of were all the max length, even though the train wouldn't fit, like would be short for it. But I think this platform should be this long all the way out to meet this one, and I think it would look better. But yeah, maybe not. Either way, that's kind of how it is right now. So that's it. That's it for this intro. This is a long intro. I was thinking it would be shorter. I'm just looking at the time. So we're going to hop into the time lapse, and we will build our park. Alright, so while we're going through this time lapse, I wanted to kind of give you guys a couple updates, let you know what I'm thinking, touch up on some things that happened while I was away. So I'm really glad to be back. Traveling for work is always a really fun but exhausting thing. So I'm glad to be back from New York. I did get some really cool ideas while I was in New York. I had to keep reminding myself though that Chinok isn't a huge metropolis like New York is, so I have to remember that Chinok's not going to have a crazy awesome like subway system and stuff like that. So I got some cool ideas though that I want to scale down for a city of Chinok size. Like the bus terminal was like, I wasn't even thinking about doing something like that until literally I was on the one train, not the one train, I'm sorry, I was on the ACE train. I was on the E train in New York, and I passed by 41st Street Port Authority bus terminal. I was like, oh, that's such a great idea. So that was awesome. So something that came out while I was away, which I've been so excited about. I've been waiting for this mod since before I realized I was going to do a YouTube series, and that is the Metro Overhaul mod. But while I was reading the comments, looking at the description, and kind of looking at what it does, I came to a realization that I'm not going to use it in Chinok. And the reason is that Chinok as a city wouldn't use or wouldn't really have it. And the reason I say that is because Chinok is a small southern city. Like most southern cities, it doesn't really invest much in public transit. So like the inner city transit is probably going to be heavy on the buses. And that kind of deal. And then the rail that it does have, since Chinok is was built up around heavy rail, that's the rail that it will have. So it'll have heavy rail. My thought is I kind of want to, and this might I might change my mind, but I'm thinking like Chinok will be one of the, it'll be like, it'll have a metro line, and like it'll be something that the city is trying, like maybe the population has requested from them, and they're finally caving, and they're finally building like a metro line. And that's kind of what I'm thinking, so I might be able to use the Metro Overhaul mod. But the problem is like Chinok isn't big enough to really get a huge benefit from light rail or metro, unless I redesign the rail system and replace all my passenger lines with metro lines, with third rail lines. And if I do that, then I'd have to, where there are certain parts of the system that are freight and passenger are combined, because that makes sense. That's how American rail is laid out. A lot of the track that Amtrak would use is owned by like Union Pacific or CSX or so on and so forth, and those cargo companies take right away. They don't let Amtrak take right away. They make their freight go before they would let Amtrak go by, which is actually one of the biggest problems with the American rail system. But yeah, so like I'm going for realism, and Chinok wouldn't use that. I might use it just for some of the benefits, but the one subway line that I design is going to be a 100% underground. It won't come up on grade. Maybe what I'll do, maybe I can get use of out of it by like maybe just maybe I can use the above grade to kind of maybe have a yard for the one underground line, so maybe like a little repair shop. That might work out. I haven't really decided yet, but yes, so that's kind of what I've come to the conclusion, at least for Metro Overhaul. Maybe you guys will have some different suggestions or some different ideas. Might change my mind. Feel free to tweet them at me or leave them in the comments. Like I said, I always reply to all the comments, and I always read all my tweets and reply to all my tweets. So if you have any ideas like that, please don't hesitate to send them my way. A couple other things, really. You'll notice I'm still using random tree rotation. I still have the flicker. I know that the mod says that it's fixed, but I don't know what's going on with that, so I'm going to keep looking into that. I'm sorry for the flickering, guys, but the flicker isn't as bad to me as the fact that if I don't have it, all my trees are the exact same orientation. That it just drives me crazy. So yeah, I'm going to go over some more of my ideas in the live mode, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what I'm thinking about the mod situation and Metro Overhaul, which I'm so excited for. I really want to use, but I'm resisting because I don't think it would fit well in Chinok. So yeah, and I'll let you guys finish up the time lapse with some music, and I'll see you guys again in the live mode. Alright, and welcome back to live mode, everybody. We're looking over what we build. I also did a little bit of off-camera stuff, so let's just go ahead and give you guys a quick tour. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize for the FPS. It's probably going to get a little crappy once we start zooming in, but right now it looks great. So what I want to do first is I want to show you something that I built before I left, and I told you guys I would show you, but I forgot to show you at the opening. So this is my redesigned interchange. So over here didn't change too much, just kind of made it a bit better there, and reworked it a little bit to make it a little bit more compact, at least that's how I think it would be. And I actually came up with some pretty cool ideas in how to do it, and I think I also just made things flow better. We don't have this thing flying way out over here, you know, it would kind of get those in the shortest distance possible. I really like this. So this I did, and just kind of, this pulls around this way, goes around to get onto the expressway. Now you can also get onto the non-expressway to get to downtown if you want to. But I figured it would be nice to have them be able to just skip all those exits. And what I did is it ended up lining up with my exit for downtown. But I didn't want the traffic crossing over, so I did some pretty cool things with traffic president. Traffic Manager President Edition, and I was able to force this one to go into this lane to drop this way, and this lane to be an exit only. So it's really cool. Like if you look at how the traffic flows through it, let's see if we can back up here, and maybe there'll be some traffic come through. Actually, I'd probably just, yeah. So we say that truck flies right on that lane. Hopefully, we'll get a car coming down this way. Probably not, and I guarantee you the second I move away, there'll be, yep, there's a car coming. It just flows in that way. I think it's a really cool looking system, and my thought was that, like, you know, like this didn't used to, you know, come on. This was kind of a new thing, and like they like scrambled because drivers were like cutting across two lanes of traffic, so they like, you know, put the cones up and did the lines and that kind of stuff. I'm thinking I might do Jersey barriers, but honestly, getting this stuff on here was such a pain in the butt because like props snapping, I think is the one that does it, that lets you place things on top. It's a little finicky when you're doing multi-level, because like it was trying to jump to this one and this one and this one, and it was just, I finally got it, but yeah. So we have that. I also reworked this, so it's a bit better. It's just a flyover stack that flies on this way, and there's no more of this connecting to it. It's this long, but the one coming from downtown makes sense to kind of go like this onto the freeway. And then I thought, well, coming from this way, I think it'd be pretty cool to, you know, instead of having two exits, it would Y right here, and it would kind of go across, very similar to how it used to connect. This would kind of pull out this way, and the cool thing is to get over the train tracks, I had to give it some elevation, and I figured I might as well give it enough so where they could do a quick left onto the express route, or go down onto the frontage road, or enter onto the freeway. I think that came out really nice looking. I reworked how this works as well. So we have the two lanes here, go onto this, you go left to get last exit onto the freeway from the frontage road, go right to get onto the expressway going to the university, and you can also enter downtown. I think that was a good idea, being able to get onto downtown. So technically you can get downtown from this last exit, going this way into the core, onto the main thoroughfare. I gotta name these streets. So I think that comes out pretty nice, pretty nice looking. I don't think we reworked too much else. Yeah, we redid this a little bit to kind of give that the proper direction. Yeah, we didn't really do much else. I think I went over everything else that I changed in our opening commentary. Okay, so let's look at what we've done, and I have to say that I'm really happy with how this park came out. Let's zoom in so the LED kicks in, and my adaptive prop visibility is not working, so I have to kind of get close for these trees to really kind of look really good. But I really like the way we did this. I played around with Surface Painter and some limited use of decals and rocks. I think it looks really cool. I like how this tram line just kind of runs in It's got this like wooden fence that kind of, goes over the walkway here and then goes into a roundabout where it turns around and has its final stop. I really like these tram assets that I have too. I think this looks really, really good. I really like the mix of the colors that I did here, like with my live oak, with the southern live oak, and with the oak that's designed for fall, and then you have the shady trees. I think it all kind of came out really, really good. And then I have like these little makeshift picnic areas. I think this will be really cool, and I have PPGs kind of around them, so you can kind of, hopefully people will start using it or kind of be inside of it. But I like how we can see people walking around on my pathways. I think this is a really cool kind of setup. And I like how they got that destroyed surface painter just look like people walked here. And like it's just where it's the path they use, so it's kind of like a destroyed look. I also did, let's jump into light to nighttime because I think it looks really cool. I did some custom lighting, which is what I like to do. I left the default lighting on the pathway because I feel like that would definitely be lit like that. But I wanted the gravel paths to be a bit less lit and to kind of have like that not quite perfect formation. So I really like the way that came out. I lit where they enter, and then there's like dark paths, and I lit the picnic areas because I felt like that would be a good idea. And yeah, I also did some random bench areas, and I think it's just a really cool green space. I mean, especially when you like go into first person view, like it has a really, really awesome feel to it. Like if you just like, let's just say you were sitting in this bench and you could like look up at the buildings. Like, isn't that like a really cool view? I really, really love that. And like I think it's such a cool feeling. And like just look, and like I was able to get onto this bridge earlier. Let's see if I can do it onto this pedestrian bridge again. Yeah, so if you get on top of the pedestrian bridge, right over the avenue, just like this, and like you look up, that is just such a cool view. I love that. I think that's just awesome. It's so nice. All right, so that's our green belt, and I've named it just so you guys can kind of see. This is now the Rutherford Memorial Park. I made that up just kind of out of nowhere, but I really like it. I think it kind of matches really, really, really good. I'm thinking maybe it was named after a president, President Hayes, Rutherford B. Hayes. That's kind of like my thought process. Kind of like maybe he. Maybe he did something really important that's nearby this town. I'd love to find like a statue. Maybe I can try and find a statue to put in here somewhere that's like of him. I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, so we kind of did this, and it's really awesome because we're now getting to the point where if this is north and this is south, which I'm pretty sure it is, then this is actually, I don't know. Just for the purpose of this video, I can't remember what the cardinal directions are right now. Yeah, I think that's north. Either way, so let's just call this the east side. That might be wrong right now, but let's just say that for the purpose of right now, this is the east side. The east side of downtown Chinok is pretty much done. There's a little bit of detail work to be done here, and I'll probably do that off camera just so I can get this video up. But really, it's just parking lots and back lots, which you guys seen me do quite a few times. So I'll probably do, I'll do some cinematics over it. But I think that's really all that's left for this side. That's actually not true. We have a little bit of stuff to do around here. This is a police station, so I'm thinking about making this like the police headquarters, so like a bunch of police car parking around here. I think that's a good idea. And then what I also did is I went ahead and zoned over here. Did the same thing I did over in, oh, and I also named this district. So this district is Lincoln Heights. Let's go into district view. So you can see, so this is Lincoln Heights. This is the Parkside projects, which I think is really, actually, that just came to me, Parkside projects, but that's what it's going to be called. Just because I like the way that sounds, a little alliteration there. So you have Lincoln Heights, Parkside projects, the CBD, which I don't think I'm going to name yet. I think right now it's just CBD. I might change it. Right now it's just CBD. So yeah, I went ahead and zoned over here around our bus terminal, and I decided that this is where this is going to stay. I kind of like it. It kind of fits, I feel like. It looks really good. and I fenced it off and did a path around it and detailed it with some trees. I haven't done any decals yet, but I'll probably crack up the concrete a little bit. I think that would look really cool. Place some more Rico buildings around just so we can get. Let's go back into cinematic view. Place some more Rico buildings around just so we can get some different height variations over here. But I have to say, I'm really happy with the way this skyline is turning out. Like, I love that, like, kind of whatever, maybe 10-story building, nothing too crazy, and then boom, downtown Chinok. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. I really like that. So yeah, we did that. I placed some schools and some police stations, that kind of stuff. And then I also did something else that I think looks really, really cool. Let me see if I can get close enough to where it actually shows up. But if you look, I used the surface painter to kind of make it look like people have been walking around in their back courtyards. Because with all the Brooklyn assets have a lot of trees on them, and so what I really didn't want to do is I didn't want to try and finagle that so that it would work with trees from the workshop, and kind of playing with that. So and I didn't want to try and I feel like I could have maybe have thrown some props in here, but FPS is already too bad and this is so small. I feel like all the props that are on the back and on the top already kind of give it that character, and I might throw some props on top of some of these buildings, like maybe some rooftop, like this one comes with it, but nothing too crazy. But I feel like using the surface painter, I kind of got that that look of there's stuff going on back here. I think it looks really cool if you zoom, you can kind of see that there's gravel's been placed around. I think that looks really, really neat. And where it makes sense, I've added in actual pathways, and just to kind of make it so citizens walk around. I think that's a really good way to do it. I'm also having an issue with crime, but I have good police coverage. So what I've been doing is I stole this kind of from Flux, but I just have clipped in 3 police stations in here and 2 over there and 3 just on top of each other, so they don't take up any more space than they already do, but they have it's kind of just got more police cars, which I think looks really cool. I also am having an issue with it says that I don't have enough workers, and I feel let's see if I can. Oh, that's flashing. I can't live without random tree rotation, and it's causing that flicker of the trees, but I'm willing to deal with it just for the ability to have my trees change rotation, because it was driving me insane. So I guess maybe that's kind of oh yeah, so you'll see over here we still got it pretty bad. We still have it saying there's not enough workers, but actually no, it used to be every commercial area, and now it's just these over here. So maybe my fix, which you saw me just build, is this kind of new apartment complex, which I really think looks really cool. I want so I'm gonna go on the workshop. I found a prop. I just haven't reloaded the game because it takes 15 minutes to load now. But it's a sound barrier, so I'm gonna do a sound barrier around this development, because this is, in my opinion, a nicer looking development. I am gonna do some kind of crappy apartments. I'm just not sure where yet. I think they'll probably be. See, what's the hard part is I'm trying to figure out where I want to put things. I really want to put some low, kind of less expensive apartments that look maybe. Actually, you know what? I think I'll fit them in here around these train tracks. I think it'll look really cool if I can get them under there. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I really like that idea. But they'll be right by the mall. We'll see. Maybe I'll kind of fit them over here, and then we'll do they'll be on this side of the train tracks, and then yeah, I'm sure I can figure it out. But yeah, so I like these. So maybe this extra. Let's pause because FPS is crazy. So I think that the extra residential zoning from these Rico apartments, which I think are really cool, maybe gave us enough population. So yeah, so I want to give you guys a quick update on where we're going next. We will likely work on our city hospital, which I'm going to put right in here. I think that's going to be a nice, awesome area for a city hospital. I need to figure out, and maybe you guys can give me some suggestions. Right now, I have no idea what to put here because, and I'll go ahead and explain why. I don't want any roads coming off of this because this is in my opinion. This is like a ring road. It's meant to be kind of an express. Think of like New York's like West Side Highway kind of deal. Like it has limited intersections, so that the traffic keeps moving, which is I think a really good idea. So I mean, I maybe could do like some housing over here, but I'm really not sure. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas of what I should do over here. I think this will look better once I finish the train yard over here, and then add some vegetation around the train station. I think that'll look really good. We have the mall slated to go in this area, and I'm really not sure how to do that. And you know what? I just had an idea, and I think it's going to be awesome. I'm not going to tell you guys because I think that'll be part of my next episode, but I just had a really good idea for this spot, this part of the map. Yeah, I think I just came up with something. So, okay, cool. I figured it out, guys. All right, so we have that. The next other couple things we're going to do is definitely going to do something over in this vicinity. This is obviously a lot of dead space right now, but I think it makes sense to kind of have... I think I'll open up the grid a bit and do more Brooklyn, but having it be more spaced, so not this close together. So, you know, we'll actually have like backyards. I think that'll look really cool. We'll do a different grid as well, so it'll kind of break a little bit. And then I'm thinking maybe just a little commercial area over here, or maybe industrial actually, because we need some more industry. Actually we don't. I think I'm gonna throw a bit more industry over here though, in this open spot, and kind of up and out this way. I think that is kind of needed. This is kind of dead over here right now. And then yeah, so that's kind of where we're looking at going. And then going over some more future looking, we have this whole thing, which is going to be like suburbs of Chinok. I think that'll look really cool. Kind of some more upscale houses kind of on this peninsula. I'm feeling like this will be like a very expensive part of town to live, so maybe do like that kind of deal. We still have the airport to do, which I've slated for here. So yeah, we have a lot to do, and I'm really hoping that my computer can keep up. But I think once we get out of the downtown, the FPS issues will definitely pick up, or they'll get better at least. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to go over in this this ending commentary. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. I know it's kind of probably jumbled together, and I apologize. Again, I just got back in town, so hopefully the next episode, if my idea for this comes together, next episode will be way better. I'll have a full week again to produce, so I think it'll come out really nice. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys with some closing cinematics. And that's a wrap on my day one production of episode 8. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you missed an episode, go ahead and click on the playlist icon on the screen right now. If you'd like to stay up to date on what's going on in Chinook Valley, feel free to follow me on Twitter, cogwheel_YT. And thanks again for watching, guys.